Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled.
Welcome to the American Report. In today's special coverage, we delve into the ongoing Ukraine-Russia conflict, its origins, current developments, and the international diplomatic arena, particularly focusing on the Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelenskiy's recent statements. Let's start with a brief history. The roots of the current conflict go back to 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea following the Ukrainian Revolution. This move, widely condemned by the international community, led to the ongoing war in eastern Ukraine. Fast forward to 2022, tensions escalated as Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, marking a significant escalation in the conflict. This invasion has led to a devastating humanitarian crisis, with thousands killed and millions displaced. It's a conflict that has drawn global attention and involvement. In recent developments, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy has expressed concerns about Donald Trump's potential return to power. Zelensky fears unilateral decisions from Trump that might not align with Ukraine's interests, especially considering Trump's recent claims of ending the war in 24 hours. In an interview, Zelensky invited Trump to Ukraine, putting Trump's claim to the test. The Ukrainian leader stresses the importance of considering Ukraine's sovereignty in any peace negotiations. Trump has stated his belief that he could negotiate an end to the conflict, citing his rapport with both Putin and Zelensky. His strategy, however, remains undisclosed, raising questions about its feasibility. On the other hand, the Biden administration has been actively involved in supporting Ukraine. The U.S. has provided military aid and imposed sanctions on Russia, taking a firm stance against the invasion. The situation on the ground remains tense. Ukrainian forces, despite facing shortages, continue to resist the Russian offensive. The conflict has seen cities destroyed and civilian lives lost. Globally, the war has led to a re-evaluation of security policies, with NATO countries increasing defense spending and enhancing military readiness. The conflict has not only reshaped European security but also affected global geopolitics. The international community is closely watching the U.S. stance. Trump's approach contrasts with the current administration's policies, generating both interest and apprehension among U.S. allies and adversaries alike. Zelensky has made it clear any peace deal must involve the withdrawal of Russian forces from Ukrainian territory, including Crimea. The Ukrainian leader emphasizes that there can be no compromise on Ukraine's territorial integrity. The Biden administration support has been multifaceted. Besides military aid, the U.S. has led international efforts to impose economic sanctions on Russia. These sanctions are aimed at crippling the Russian economy and deterring further aggression. The sanctions have had significant impacts, affecting key sectors of the Russian economy, including finance, energy, and defense. They represent a concerted effort by the West to stand against Russia's actions in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine continues to worsen. Millions have fled their homes, seeking refuge in neighboring countries. The international community has responded with aid, but the needs are immense and growing. In refugee camps across Europe, Ukrainian families share stories of loss and displacement. Their resilience in the face of such adversity has been remarkable, but the journey ahead remains uncertain. The conflict has also had a ripple effect on the global economy. The disruption of Ukrainian grain exports has led to rising food prices worldwide, exacerbating existing issues of food security in many countries. Ukraine, often called the breadbasket of Europe, plays a vital role in global food supply chains. The conflict has highlighted the interconnectedness of global markets and the far-reaching impacts of regional conflicts. Another significant impact has been on energy markets. Europe's reliance on Russian gas has come under scrutiny, accelerating the search for alternative energy sources and pushing for a faster transition to renewable energy. Countries are now investing more in wind, solar, and other renewable energy projects. This shift, although challenging, is seen as a necessary step towards energy independence and sustainability. Diplomatically, the conflict has reignited debates about NATO's role and the future of European security. It has brought into question the effectiveness of existing security frameworks and the need for new strategies to address emerging threats. NATO has responded by strengthening its eastern flank, increasing military presence in member countries bordering Russia. These moves are seen as both a deterrent to further Russian aggression and a reassurance to nervous allies. Returning to Trump's controversial approach, it's worth noting that his presidency was marked by an unconventional foreign policy style. His admiration for Putin and willingness to engage with authoritarian leaders raised concerns about his approach to international diplomacy. Trump's past statements and actions regarding Russia and Ukraine have been a mix of praise for Putin and claims of support for Ukraine. This ambivalence has led to uncertainty about how he would handle the conflict if re-elected. On the Ukrainian front, Zelenskyy's leadership has been a blend of defiance and diplomatic outreach. His appeals to the international community have garnered widespread support, but challenges remain. Zelenskyy's calls for more military and humanitarian aid have been persistent. He has emerged as a symbol of resistance, rallying his nation in the face of overwhelming odds. The future of the Ukraine-Russia conflict is uncertain. While diplomatic efforts continue, the prospect of a quick resolution seems distant. The war has become a test of international resolve and a defining moment in 21st century geopolitics. As we watch this conflict unfold, the questions it raises about global security, humanitarian responsibility, and the balance of power are profound. The world stands at a critical juncture, and the decisions made now will shape the international order for years to come. This has been a special report on the American Report. We will continue to follow this story closely, bringing you the latest updates and analysis. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth coverage.